Robinhood stock is up over 147% year to date in 2025. This is a stock I've changed my recommendation on a couple of times in the last 2 years. I've had the stock rated as a buy, then a hold, then a buy, then a hold. It's been a very volatile stock. It's put investors on a roller coaster ride, to be sure. And it's highly correlated to the macro economy. This is one of those businesses that when consumers are feeling optimistic, when investors are feeling optimistic, this stock does very, very well. And the same is true in the opposite direction. If you recall, in late 2022, this stock suffered significantly as investor sentiment soured significantly. So now that investors are excited again, growth stocks are performing well, cryptocurrencies are performing exceptionally well, investors are excited again, and Robinhood is thriving. So I'm going to visit this company again and let you know what I think about the stock at the new higher valuations. Do I think Robinhood stock is a buy, hold, or a sell right now?
I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.
So as I mentioned, my rating on Robinhood stock has fluctuated over the last couple of years because of the volatility of this stock and the significant changes in evaluation. I last updated this stock on April 30th, 2025, and informed investors that I thought the stock was a hold and not a buy. Now, of course, the stock has soared since April, and so I missed out on this investment. I missed out on recommending this stock as a buy to my viewers. But as always, I revisit my recommendations, let you know where they were, the results of those recommendations, and I keep track of all of this for my own purposes so that I can track my own performance. And I'm not trying to convince any of my viewers that I have some kind of special stock picking capability. I follow a 6 step proprietary process in evaluating publicly traded companies. I've even written a book about my 6 step investing framework. So for me, it's all about the process, it's all about the research, and that research has resulted in very good performance for me overall. So I stick to that process, even though there might be certain situations where my recommendation and my process does not work well, right? No process is 100% foolproof. And so I understand that there's going to be situations where I recommend and I miss out on investments. But I'm okay with that because overall, my process has served me extremely well. So, most recently, Robinhood updated investors on April 30th. They told investors that during the quarter, they significantly accelerated their product innovation across several key initiatives, highlighted by their announcement of Robinhood strategies, banking, and Cortex. The company's CFO said that as a result, in Q1, they grew revenue by 50% and earnings per share by over 100%. It's also great to see strong customer engagement to start the second quarter. We continue to return capital to shareholders and increased our repurchase authorization by 500 million. I always like to see management teams using their free cash flow to buy back stock. It demonstrates to me that management believes their shares are undervalued. The company's transaction-based revenue increased by 77% to 583 million, primarily driven by cryptocurrencies revenue of 252 million. That was up over 100%. As I mentioned, cryptocurrencies are in fashion again as the current administration has taken a favorable stance to cryptocurrencies, and so cryptocurrencies have soared as a result. But I caution investors not to get too excited because the next administration could be against cryptocurrencies, right? So I always caution against relying on governments to support a company or governments to support an industry because one government administration may be favorable, the next one might be unfavorable, and so you don't want to rely on the government to determine the success of a business. And if you want a cautionary tale about that, just look at the electric vehicle industry, right? The previous administration was very favoring the electric vehicle industry, launching several initiatives to support the industry. And now the current administration is against the electric vehicle industry, and they're trying to remove a lot of the tax credits that the electric vehicle industry received. So just as this administration may be favorable to cryptocurrencies, the next administration might be against, and back and forth as the government goes, as is always the case if you look back at history. Over centuries, that's been the case with governments worldwide. The company also increased the amount of funded customers by 1.9 million, and that was up by 8% year over year to 25.8 million. Investment accounts increased by 2.6 million, or 11% to 27 million. So I like to see them increasing the number of customers as well as increasing the engagement with each customer. More notably, they're generating more revenue as a result of more engagement from existing customers than they are from generating new customers, right? As an investment professional myself in the investment industry, I'm encouraged by the fact that there were an increase of roughly 2 million investment accounts year over year. I like to see more individuals participating in investing. I think investing is one of the best things you can do to generate accumulation in wealth over the long term. So, looking at Robinhood's monthly dashboard metrics, you can see significant growth across total platform assets. That means people are depositing more money on the platform, as well as the fact that investments have increased, right? I mentioned cryptocurrencies have been on fire. And so people that have cryptocurrencies in their Robinhood accounts have seen those values increase, as well as growth stocks have performed really well. AI stocks have performed well. Overall, the S&P 500 index is up about 5% year to date in 2025, and that's helping to increase investment assets under management for many, many individuals or many companies in the investment industry. So 25.9 million accounts as funded customers as of May of 2025, and that was up by 1.8 million year over year. So that's solid growth for Robinhood. One of the more important things I like to look at is the return on investor capital, and fiscal.ai is my favorite data source. They have these charts available across many critically important financial metrics. There's a link in the description for this service if you're interested. And Robinhood's return on investor capital had been improving significantly from negative 28% to 12.6%, but in the most recent trailing 12-month period, it dropped to 6.1%. A little bit concerning, especially if you think about the valuation of the company. This is not a cheap stock, and when I'm dealing with expensive premium valuation stocks, I'd like to see the return on investor capital improving. And speaking about valuation, Robinhood stock is trading at the most expensive it's been, going all the way back to January of 2024. It's trading at a forward price to earnings of 75. It's the most expensive it's been, and you can understand why. I shared with you all of those critically important financial metrics, except for the return on investor capital. Almost everything else is working or going in the positive direction for Robinhood, especially notably the cryptocurrency industry is favored by the current administration. And so prices across crypto assets have been soaring, and trading across crypto has been soaring. And that's been great news for Robinhood, and investors have been attracted to Robinhood as a result. I also calculate my own proprietary discounted cash flow valuation. And for Robinhood, the output of my calculation has the business worth about $38 a share. Unfortunately, the current market price has soared well above that level. It's now at over $92 a share. So this stock looks very expensive, whether I'm looking at it on my discounted cash flow basis or if I'm looking at the data provided by Fiscal AI and looking at the forward price to earnings basis, the stock looks expensive. So to update my recommendation, I last had this stock rated as a hold and I updated it on April 30th. I'm keeping the stock rated as a hold here. It's a good company making excellent progress, improving across several critical categories. Unfortunately, the valuation is extremely expensive. I would be waiting to potentially get this stock at a lower price. Hey everyone, I'm excited to announce that my book is finally available for sale. I've been working on it for more than a year now, so I'm really excited to finally share this with you now. It goes through my framework for evaluating stocks. Some of you often ask why I like this stock or why I like the other stock, and this framework provides you the things that I look at when I'm evaluating stocks. I've added the link in the description below.